What's up, everybody?
Massimo, ha! The comeback kid.
Hey,
You're not as blurry now.
Yeah, now it's get cleared up.
a little less.
What's up, Erasmo? He turned off his sound again.
You don't want to hear us.
Erasmo.
Oh well.
Good evening, guys.
We'll just have fun with the three of us.
Kinky.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Bam. How you doing in Chicago area?
Cold, wet, snowy, icy.
Lovely.
Yeah.
How's the weather?
Wet, snowy, icy, cold.
Where
were you?
That's what you were talking about.
Hello, McFly.
So that's what you were talking about.
That's what he was
yes.
talking about. Oh, I heard that bird.
Yeah, he needs to go to bed. He's being a bad puppy.
I thought that was a goat at Erasmo's or something.
All right. That sounds like one of the baby goats.
That's only on the weekends.
Abel Vela, how you doing today, man? How was your New Year's weekend?
You want to shut Cracker up? Show him the water bottle.
It was good, man. It was good. I just couldn't wait to get all the season over with, and I'm glad we pushed across that. And 2021 is all we have to look forward to now.
We get eyes behind us and go to work.
Hello, Paul, Lola. Happy New Year. Or is it Happy Halloween?
Paul
it could be Halloween. Nope. It's Happy April Fool's Day. That's what it is. April's Fool's Day.
Hey, Paul, I know it's only 8 o'clock, but thanks for staying awake to hang out with us for a bit. That guy goes to bed early. Hey, Lola. Rose, Happy New Year's.
Rose.
Hope your family is good, Rose. Hey, everybody, Rose, everybody.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021.
So, Erasmo, what's the latest news today?
Let me say that I did find out yesterday that Minerva Peña had been served on the 31st of December with a lawsuit. Served a lawsuit from Marisa versus Minerva Peña.
It's official. Whoa, sir.
Oh yeah. I have the lawsuit here in front of me. When I found out about it, I said, like, okay, but I needed the details in regards to, what's this all about? And when I heard about it, it made absolutely no sense whatsoever. No sense whatsoever. So
what
I said,
what part in particular? Because I know there's quite a few points.
None of it
Really?
makes sense. None of it. So what happens is, I said, like, well, okay, I need to see it to dissect it to see what the heck's going on. So I obtained a copy this morning because, again, once a lawsuit is filed, it is open records. Yes, I drive very, very fast. And it's kind of funny, but I was I didn't even have any gas. So I had to stop off, put some gas, and then come to the office to get ready for the show. And you see how well I'm dressed, Zuni, in comparison to what I was wearing at the restaurant.
It's funny because you told me 12 minutes and then you got here in like 6.
Well, it was, I speed, I go fast, and it was funny because I was coming down the frontage road. I mean, yeah, sorry guys for everyone I've passed. I was coming down the frontage road. There was a police officer parked under. I don't know. You all remember that Merrill Lynch building, the one that's now Ignacio Martinez's office?
I believe so.
The one that's on the second floor, and the bottom is the parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, he was inside the parking lot, and I said, and I go like, oh crap. And of course, for some reason, I didn't have my seatbelt on either. So I'm like, oh crap. So I go, I'm putting on my seatbelt. I'm gonna get stopped. But then I go, if he stops you, and it's like, hey, that's in traffic. You were hiding. You can't hide to give people tickets. But he probably was doing paperwork or something.
Yeah, paperwork.
Hey, Linda. Linda Lou, welcome. Okay, so there's a lot of points to this thing, and you said none of it makes sense. I mean,
No. Not announced. Not announced. And when they told me about it yesterday, I said, guys, you can't sue Minerva Peña. You can't seek relief. You can't seek relief. This is, and I want people to understand this. This is not a lawsuit where there is any relief, specific relief that Minerva could actually satisfy. I mean, and I want people to understand that. There's nothing on here that Minerva Peña can satisfy.
Like there's no financial obligation or any of that.
this is not over money or anything, right?
No, look, and we'll go into it because I have 40 minutes because I have a doctor on at 9:00. It's in regard. It talks about the discovery control plan level, which is again pursuant the parties in service, which is Marisa and Minerva. Again, up to there, it's making sense. Then it goes into jurisdiction of venue, and to contest the results of the Brownsville Independent School District election held November the 3rd, to select the Board of Trustees, Place 6 Board of Independent, for which contestee were only candidates. This election contest is timely because it is filed no later than the 30th day after the date of the official results of the contested election was determined. Again, okay, up to there, good. The court has exclusion. Election contest. This is where it gets wonky. It's on the second page. It says on December 3rd, 2020, a final and official canvass and certification of the November 4th general election results from Board of Trustees, Place 6 was complete, and it gives the information. Great. 9. Contestant will show, which is Marisa Leal. Marisa Leal will show on the trial of this cause that this was not the true outcome of the election for the reasons set forth below. So it's going to give us the reasons why this is not, Minerva did not win. Okay. Contestant will show, Marisa will show that that numerous votes were illegally cast by individuals who were registered to vote at an address, not a residence, and not their residence as defined by the Texas State Elections Code, and therefore were not legally registered to vote in the election for the position of Place 6 Board of Trustees, Brownsville Independent School District. The votes, therefore, cast by these individuals who were not legally registered to vote were illegal and cannot be counted. A question to you all. What does Minerva have to do with that?
So that's a registration fraud. Registration fraud they're alleging.
Had these illegal votes not been counted, a different and correct result would be obtained in the election. What
They're targeting the wrong. It's Leal versus Minerva instead of Leal versus the county or whoever it is that runs the elections, state.
Now, just to make clear, this is contestants' original petition. This is the original petition with request for disclosure. This is the original petition. How is Minerva responsible for people?
It's not like she can respond to that.
How?
Context, right?
How can she respond? How can Minerva? Why is Minerva responsible?
Because she was only the candidate, she wasn't the one who. Right? Okay, I see.
Like they're suing the wrong person. They're it's not like Trump. Trump is not trying to sue whatever the other guy's name is, Joe Biden. He's going against the elections,
the election process.
Right?
Yeah, they should have learned a little bit from Trump. Okay. Next point. Contestant will also show. Marisa will show that numerous voters casting votes during the early vote and on election day were assisted at the time that they voted, even though the voters were not eligible for assistance in reading or completing the ballot in violation of Texas code. The votes therefore cast misspelling by these persons who were assisted in violation of Texas code are therefore illegal and cannot be counted. Had these illegal votes not been counted, a different correct result would have been obtained by election. So what they're saying is that individuals were helping other individuals vote on election day, reading or completing the ballot for them. or she's referring to vote harvesters.
Yeah.
Again, how is Minerva responsible for that? And look, guys, I'm not a fan of Minerva's. You all know that. I mean, I don't know if that's been made very clear. Not a fan at all.
Pretty clear. Pretty clear.
A little bit.
How is Minerva responsible for that?
Yeah, at that point, they can't contend to that. I mean, it's like me trying to sue the city of Brownsville because I slipped at Walmart. You know, I'm suing a whole different entity, so they cannot respond on behalf of the actual. You know, there's nothing that she could do. What is she going to respond? They'll just throw that right out of the court, I'm sure.
Contestants will also, Marisa will also show that numerous voters were casting votes during early voting and on election day received assistance that was not limited to the authorized by Texas Election Code. Said illegal assistance, this is where illegal assistance included encouraging the voter how to vote and or even pressuring or coercing votes in violation of the Texas Ethics Code. The votes, therefore, cast by this person who were assisted in violation of the ethics code are illegal. Again, how is Minerva responsible for that? 13. Contestants will also show that numerous mail-in ballots that were counted should not have been counted due to the numerous violations of various requirements under the Texas Elections Code. The ballots, the cast, the voter is not eligible to vote by mail. The voter did not sign the application. The voter was assisted in completing and signing, voter harvesting. The voter is not eligible or assistance in reading. The assistants failed to sign the oath prescribed. The assistants failed to enter per name. The voter permitted another person to take possession. The voter received assistance. The person providing assistance prepared the vote harvesters. Yeah, duh. The mail-out ballot carrier envelope did not contain the signature. The alleged mark on the alleged mail-in ballot was not witnessed by any person.
Yep.
We're getting there.
That's the funny part.
We'll get there.
That's the funny part.
The signature of the alleged voter in the carrier envelope was not assigned. The voter's mail-out was not. Again, how is Minerva responsible for all this? Under election code, the mail-in ballots that were cast in violation of the election code were illegal and therefore should be thrown out. Because the number of illegal votes cast exceed the difference. Now, this is the good one. Because the number of illegal votes cast exceed the difference of the total votes cast for the contestant and those cast for the contestee, the court cannot ascertain the true outcome of the election. How is Minerva responsible for that?
Yeah, I mean, she's asking for a re-election, and the lawsuit is just.
So that's the ultimate request here is for get a re-election. Okay, go ahead.
The notice of disqualification. Notice is thereby given that this matter involves territory covered by Cameron County District Court. As such, District Judge Court is statutorily disqualified. They want to disqualify Cameron County Court. Why? I'm not sure. Contestant requests that district clerk promptly notify the judge of this filing so that the special judge may be assigned to hear this matter. They're wanting an outside judge. They don't want any judge from the inside. And again, not sure why, but that's fair. You could ask for that. Contestant request contestee disclose within 50 days of the services request the information and materials described in Rule 194. Again, if this is to get Minerva's take on it, yes, but it has nothing to do with the election.
So who's actually named in this thing on top of that front of that page?
Minerva.
So it is basically Leal versus Peña. That's the suit.
Yeah, it's right there. Minerva against Marisa against Minerva. Now, wherefore, now the prayers, the relief, the request, where premise is considered, Marisa requests that this cause be set for trial, given precedence over the causes provided by law, that notice of filing of the petition and the hearing date be given to all parties, o sea, Minerva, that after hearing the evidence, the court find that the total number of illegal votes cast in the election exceed the difference between the total number of votes cast by the consentant and the total number of votes cast by the contestee. You're not suing the elections department.
Yeah, that's
You're not suing BISD.
Yeah.
And because of the total number of illegal votes cast in the election exceed the difference between the contested candidacy, the court finds that it cannot determine the true outcome of the November the 4th race. Now, the court determined that the election be declared void, and it is impossible to ascertain the true results, and an order issued for a new election for the contested office pursuant of the election code. Now, here where it gets wonky. Are you wanting to throw out the whole election?
That's what I read.
I think that sounds like just that race.
Well, it says the election
Re-election. They want
of November 4th, and the attorney is state chair for the Democratic Party, Gilbert Hinojosa.
Well, that's the funny part, man. Well, the guy who is sitting where he's sitting, I would have never written those papers. You know, if it was some inexperienced court appointed, then I would understand. But this dude should know better. I mean, doesn't make sense.
Again, now unless they're trying to prove that, and again, which is great, if what they're trying to prove is that Minerva Peña has information in regards to vote harvesters, if there's information that Minerva Peña hired vote harvesters, then yeah, if that is the case, then you're going after Minerva for hiring vote harvesters.
It's not outlined there, though.
But that's part of that, isn't it? I mean, isn't that what they're insinuating?
But they're not saying it. It's not.
They're insinuating. Well, they're not insinuating that Minerva Peña had anything to do with them right here. I guess unless that's the next step. Now, if they have proof that Minerva and certain people hired vote harvesters, then I'm sorry, then the whole election needs to be thrown out. Yeah. But let me tell you, in that respects, I mean, maybe they're not showing all their cards. If that's the case, that's awesome. But this, as it reads, it's a bunch of malarkey.
Yeah, that wouldn't stand a chance. I mean, they'll probably read through that and be like, "What is this? Who came up with it? Gilbert? Oh, maybe we'll give him a chance because we know the guy, but." Whatever, right? But this sounds to me more of a petition than it should have been a lawsuit. A lawsuit doesn't make sense. More of a petition.
Well, I mean, look, I've seen lawsuits where you include BISD and you include the district. I mean,
all
district,
parties that were involved, yeah.
And Cameron County Elections Department and anyone that was in charge of the precincts. The person that's in charge, you file a lawsuit against everyone and let the court, tend to chew away on who doesn't need to be there. With that said, guys, I just don't see this. I don't see where it's going. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe some attorneys out there might think that it makes sense. Doesn't make sense to me because you would sue Cameron County Elections Department and BISD. And the reason you file a lawsuit against BISD is BISD is actually the electing agent. They hire Cameron County Elections Department to hold the election. So you sue both of them. And you can sue also the candidate if there's, if you have proof that there's any malfeasance, if the candidate has done something wrong, as part of the conspiracy, then yeah. But the way it sits makes no sense.
Yeah, just like you said, there's nothing that she could gain out of Minerva. So how can you sue somebody if there's no gain on the other end of the lawsuit?
I mean, could this be just a teaser with something else that's behind it? Like you said, maybe there's something else to it.
That's the only thing that I could see because it does say petition with request. Because this is the original petition. I've never ever seen an original petition where you don't see where you don't sue all entities that you're really going to sue.
Right. Because normally that's the way that works. You include everyone, and then as the thing moves along, people that are things that are irrelevant get dropped out.
I've never seen it.
They get
unless there's more people being served or waiting to get served in the next few weeks or something.
Yeah, but the big one is Cameron County Elections Department.
Yeah, cause I guess the case is titled right now is just Leal versus Peña. That's what the main case is. So it's not like they're going to bring surprise servings or something. That's the main case is against her.
Yeah, and just to be fair, Manny behind the mic did reach out to Marissa Leal for a comment, but she was not available. Oh, I'm not. You probably can't comment. I imagine.
Yeah, pretty sure.
But again, now if you're suing for a disclosure from Minerva, then I don't see where this would fall in, because all you have to do is subpoena.
Yeah,
Subpoena her for her statement.
it wouldn't be a lawsuit. It would just be, like you say, a subpoena, not a lawsuit.
Well,
there would be a lawsuit against the county or the BISD, and then subpoena Minerva's, phone or whatever kind of proof that they have on the side.
Or subpoena her, give a statement. Iron Fist.
She hasn't commented or anything else that we know of.
Who?
Minerva.
Oh no, she went crazy. I mean, she again. I didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, that's a good. I mean, for her, plead the fifth all day long. Somebody else.
And again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Again, there is a very close relationship between Sylvia Atkinson and Gilbert Hinojosa's wife.
Oh, wow.
A very, very close relationship, guys. That's why I'm going like, what?
Yeah, that's great.
And guys, I mean, I'm not just talking out of my behind. I mean, Sylvia Atkinson hosted an event for Cindy Hinojosa when she was running for JP. She hosted an event, a breast cancer awareness event at the Mint Bar. We have the pictures of the poster where Sylvia was the one that was promoting it. Again, is this the individual that is now representing you in a case? It's just something.
So I mean, just to rewind a little bit, right? You're saying that the attorney that Leal hired, his wife is pretty close to the best friend of the plaintiff or defendant, whatever the other one is, Minerva.
Again, we have to understand that Minerva Peña is a tool of Sylvia Atkinson. I mean, guys, come on. Minerva Peña is a puppet. She let herself be used by Sylvia Atkinson in order to enrich Sylvia Atkinson. Minerva Peña's name was mentioned during the trial of Sylvia Atkinson. Guys, it doesn't take a rocket science to connect the dots in it. And again, it's something that I just didn't start saying during the trial. I've been saying it for months on end, if not a year before the trial. Minerva Peña is a puppet, is a tool of Sylvia Atkinson, as is Drew Brown, Prissy Roca-Tipton, and now Jessica Gonzalez.
I see.
I don't know. Sounds like there's more to this than just.
There will be more to it.
This.
Well, guys, for Marisa's sake, I hope so, because this makes no sense.
That's gonna get thrown out as that doesn't stand a chance. I was a paralegal for a few years, and that right there, it wouldn't stand a chance, man. I've written better as a paralegal. I had written better papers in those, So no.
Again, what relief are you seeking? Are you seeking for her to give up her seat? Are you? How can Minerva? What power does Minerva hold or have in order to call another election?
Yeah, they're after the wrong person. They're wrong entity.
They're looking for a whole complete election, not just hers, but the entire election.
No, I mean,
I'm sure you wouldn't mind it, but
no, of course not. And you know what? And again, see, and this is where it gets weird, because what you're alleging ultimately affected the whole election, not just one position in the election, because it doesn't even mention the recount. It mentions the election of November the 4th. So again, are you requesting for the election of November the 4th to be thrown out on the basis that it goes against the Texas Elections Code? More power to you, Yeah. Now, again, where they missed the mark, again, if that's the case, guys, then they should have brought us all in, and say, hey, guys, let's all get together and let's sue against the election, because then it'll be several individuals. Because I know that there were vote harvesters. I know for a fact that there were vote harvesters. I know for a fact that there were some cases with 9, 10, 11, 12 people in the same house.
Nice.
I know for a fact. So if that's the case, why didn't you bring us in and say, hey, guys, let's do it todos juntos? Because nowhere is the recount even mentioned.
Maybe this is just the tip of the iceberg, just a little teaser lawsuit.
Well, makes sense though. Even if it was just a teaser, this thing's not gonna hold up for there to be anything else besides this. This is a make it or break it. That first one, the lawsuit was open against the wrong entity, so maybe they'll redo. They'll have to redo it.
I think a judge is going to get it, see it, and go like, "You're suing the wrong people." I mean, Minerva cannot give you that relief. Your prayers, she cannot grant you that. Now, are you trying to say that Minerva Peña, along with other individuals, had a part in regards to paying out, vote harvesters? That's a lawsuit where you have to file a suit against Minerva, the people involved, and you still sue the elections agency. You still have to include them. They haven't been served.
Right. And from the looks of it, it's not against them. So.
No, but it should be against them.
So what good does it do to have something like this where it's somebody's named in a lawsuit that's not, I don't know, redirected, I guess? It's not directed properly.
Again, I mean, when you're referring to lawsuits, you're only as good as your attorney. And again, it's going to be embarrassing that the state chair for the Democratic Party filed this if it gets thrown out of court.
It already is. Like right now, it's pretty embarrassing because they.
So what was the deadline for this to happen? She had a deadline that was named. You read that early on
within 30 days.
It was 30 days of
from the election. From when.
Of when the election was finally formally called. Is that
so
right?
Do you think that they just threw this out as an emergency or what?
Maybe they. Okay, so let's look at that angle. Maybe this was put out there to buy some time for something else. I mean, once this is done, now.
But you still mention everyone. I mean, you still mention everyone. You still mention as many parties as you can. And look, if I fall down at Walmart, I'm going to sue the manager of Walmart. I'm going to sue the supervisor of Walmart. I'm going to sue the local Walmart. I'm going to sue the company that cleans their floors. I'm going to sue the individuals that sell the signs, wet floor signs. I'm going to file a lawsuit against Arkansas, where the company is headquarters. You file a lawsuit against everyone.
But it wouldn't be like Erasmo versus the cart pusher, or for example, right?
Erasmo versus the guy that is observing the checkout machines.
Versus a district manager who hasn't been there or whatever, right? It would be a list of an entity, right? From the corporation down to the guy who last mopped.
To quote the great legal scholar Johnny Cochran, if it don't fit, you must have quit. You must have quit. You must have quit.
Must have quit.
Well, the more, I don't know, it's looking more like maybe this is just one thing there's more to come, possibly.
I just think they had one shot, and they might have just messed it all up with one shot. If it was a 30-day time frame and they're suing the wrong person, then they never brought it to court within the 30 days versus the correct person. It's like how do the referees say in football? After review, the play remains the same. Whatever the hell you say,
Yeah.
So,
if they had
that's because Americans are out of practice on how to sue somebody. Because back in the 80s, probably before you were even thought of, we were sue happy. I mean, we were suing every time somebody farted, turned around, got a bloody nose. I mean, we would sue at the drop of a damn hat. Then we kind of got away from it in like the 2000s, 2010s, and nobody knows how to sue anybody anymore because they're out of practice.
Oh, the part about it, dude, is that this guy that is representing her, what does he hold it as? A chair in this. What is he now? Gilbert Hinojosa? He's
the state chair for the Democratic Party.
So he's not just the guy who just started. He's the guy
he's run several campaigns. He was a county judge here. I think he might have at one point been something else in the city, but he was county judge, lost county judge. and then became state chair for the Democratic Party in the state of Texas, not just Cameron County, which he was. He was also the chair of the Democratic Party in Cameron County. He is the state chair for the Democratic Party, Texas.
Yeah, so
But
that's the embarrassing part.
Again, they're not.
Well, and go ahead.
No, they're going back to your point, guys. If they had 30 days to file against, the entity, Minerva is not the right entity.
I'm sorry I missed that one earlier.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
Eddie said that sucks that their council didn't advise her to bring in more people to the party being sued. I don't know. Maybe this was a little sloppy. I'm not sure. This could be just the opening to something else. You know what I mean?
Sloppy or just a big money move for the attorney.
I mean, I'm thinking this is a play on time. Put something in there. Now we got a lot of time to deal with whatever. If there's something else, it's got to be something else. Has to be.
I hope so.
So what, man, imagine that. I mean, what would it take to get the whole freaking election overturned and say, you know what? This thing was a mess. Let's do another one. I don't see that happening at all. In any case, no matter what happens.
Negative. I don't see it happening either, man.
Even if they got evidence of up the wazoo of improper dealings, would something like this ever get overturned? I mean, the whole election, let alone one race, but can you imagine?
I mean, it would work for me. But again, guys, will it happen? I just don't see it. It doesn't make sense.
This was a one shot. That's my main thing is this was their one shot to, if they truly believe that there was something like wrongdoings in the election, for them to bring it up to the court. If they felt they had significant proof to do so, they did it so incorrectly. They brought it up against the wrong person.
But you think they've got proof. They've got something up their sleeve. That's what it sounds like. Z says, imagine if this guy set up Marissa to look bad with the lawsuit.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking earlier. I was like, this could just be a big money move and say, they come to her when she's emotionally down and stressed. It's like, okay, I'm so emotionally down. I'm willing to fork up the last of my money to hire this attorney to do whatever. And then this is just a dumb lawsuit, man. They're suing a person. They're not suing an entity. They're not suing the elections department, whatever term is the correct term to use. I don't know, but they're suing a person. It's a civil suit, a person versus a person. So how is that going to stand in court? How can they blame and say, Minerva did this and that, when at the end of the day, the people who were in charge of the election, it was not her. It's the election process that failed. So that's the people who are supposed to be getting the lawsuit.
Yeah, so now technically Minerva is supposed to respond to this somehow.
Yeah. So an easy response of of her having nothing to do with it will do, because they're suing the wrong person. And Minerva has a good attorney behind her, doesn't she, Erasmo?
Well, again, she has the best attorney that we, the taxpayers, could pay for. Because, of course, she's going to get the BISD board and the district to pay for her attorney.
Yep.
Is that even possible? Is that how that works?
Well, let me tell you, they control the votes. They get to do anything they want.
And then an attorney can be go as a public attorney at that point, and it's like, hey, I'm not the BISD attorney. I'm helping my good friend Minerva out. I'm not going to charge her because I choose not to charge her.
Oh no, they have to disclose that they have to disclose it.
Yeah.
So what's the next step? Just wait for Minerva to respond legally somehow? Does she get to put her hands up and go, I got nothing to do with any of this?
Well, we'll see.
There has to be a response. That's for sure. A response, or if not, they both get summoned. Is that right or not, Erasmo?
They both got summoned, so we'll see what happened.
Wow, more excitement. What else do we got going on?
That's it, guys. I'm going to have to leave y'all because I need to get go reach out to the Dr. De La Garza. So I'm going to let y'all be.
Okay, sounds good.
Guys,
Hey,
thank
Master
you.
Mo.
I'll come and visit you after that.
Thank y'all
Thanks
for
for
having
coming
me,
by.
guys. God bless.
Have a good one.
Brownsville politics, never a dull moment.
Boy, you guys are kind of like the same thing as the real life government over there. Holy fuck, you got some drama.
You know, I was telling people about the Chicago Public Schools Board and what kind of mess that is. If they think
Sweet
Brownsville's
Jesus.
bad, yeah, the Chicago Public Schools is. Oh, that's a mess. Yes, Eddie, it's a mess.
There's a freaking thing on. It actually came out on this TV show called American Greed, man, and this was in Ohio though, and it was so close to what was happening here in Brownsville that basically there would be vendors selling like papers and pencils at triple, quadruple the cost, and the superintendent or whoever was in charge would sign off on it and get 25% or so just for signing off.
Yeah,
And sometimes the stuff wouldn't even get delivered, but it didn't matter. They were pocketing money. So
Now you guys know how a hammer can
kickbacks.
cost $80,000 and a toilet seat for $300,000. Now you know how it's done.
that's how it works, pretty much. It's all about. It's all about the kickbacks.
That's crazy, man.
Now look at those voting machines from that company called Dominion.
Yep.
It was $100 million contract, and X number of senators and local governments signed off on that. You got to believe there's a freaking kickback coming to that. Typically, which is 10%.
There has to be.
The BISD
And the
board
kicker
a
is
complete
other
embarrassment to
countries
the-
are in charge of it.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, you're in charge of our election process. Give me a freaking break.
Like there's no company U.S. based that could provide that kind of service.
I'm sure there is.
I can't believe that.
They can't trust somebody in the U.S. to cheat. Unlike they can trust Portugal or Germany or whoever. They can trust them.
An outside entity that's got no interest, supposedly.
You can only trust your friends, you know?
Well, you know what they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Oscar the Grouch, the BISD board is a complete embarrassment to this community. It is. It's a mess.
Why do you think Nancy just sent billions of dollars over to the Middle East?
Yeah. I pulled my kids out of BISD like 3 years ago, man. Because all they do is cover their ass for mistakes. Big mistakes. And all they ever did was cover their ass when I brought it to their attention. So I see what Oscar the Grouch is trying to say there. It's a big mess.
Yeah, it is. Let's hop over to some national stuff. You guys remember Taylor Dane?
I don't.
Bam, really? Yeah, Tell It to My Heart. Huge singer back in the
80s. I heard the song, of course. Classic.
Yeah, that's Taylor Dane. Here, Juan Carlos, if you want to see a movie about corruption in school board, watch Bad Education. Ooh, where's that? I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, well, let me write that down.
I did hear about that. Yeah, write that on your whiteboard there, so everybody. Put it more to your left, I guess, so everybody can see it. Yeah, more that way, so everybody can see it.
Is that the one with Eminem's wife in it, Kim Basinger?
Eminem's married to Kim Basinger?
He was in 8 Mile.
Oh, not Kim. His wife was Kim. Bad Education.
Oh, there's Bad Education. Okay, I see. Oh, I thought it was a documentary.
I've seen Stand and Deliver, but not Bad Education.
Hugh Jackman, Allison Cheney, Geraldine, if this wasn't, then Ray Romano. Oh, man, I think I saw that. I'm going to watch that again.
Thanks for that one, Mr. Juan Carlos.
Yeah, definitely. You know, speaking of education movies, Stand and Deliver, that's a classic. That's a great movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie, bro, for real.
For those of you young lads, young people who have not seen Stand and Deliver, check that out. It's a true story.
I haven't seen it, and I'm only 22, so
you're a young lad. Damn millennial.
That's right. You didn't see Stand and Deliver, really?
I don't believe I have, but it's entirely possible. Throughout my lifespan, I've seen, God, thousands upon thousands of movies.
Edward James Olmos is a teacher, math teacher, East LA, if I'm not mistaken. And he gets kids learning calculus and all this other high-end math.
I mean, it's entirely possible. I've seen it. I mean, unlike Abel, he was born in what, 92?
86, 92.
No, seriously, 86?
86.
Yeah,
That's the year I graduated high school, man.
he's just a fetus. So anyway, Taylor Dane is now being targeted by the cancel culture because she did a concert, and so is the Trump family.
Wait, by the what culture? What?
The
The cancel culture.
Okay.
Do you know who they are and what they do?
Yeah, do you know what the cancel culture is?
I don't.
So people, this culture of people, this crowd that doesn't like something. I wouldn't even call them a group, a crowd. They don't like anything you do, so they will come out and say, ban her or ban them because he did this or he did that.
They're like PETA.
Kind of like shaming,
They are the ones that are getting Abraham Lincoln's names taken off of schools and roadways and statues removed.
Oh, like that rock we got removed?
That too. Yes, exactly. Or what's her name? That singer, Billie Eilish.
Oh, yeah.
Eilish?
I can't stand that one.
She came out in a bathing suit, just a photograph. She's on vacation, and then they jumped on her for being in a bathing suit.
Why?
She pretty much told them, "Go F yourself." And that's what you should do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
People need to quit bowing down to all these people that are trying to tell you how to live your life.
I don't care for her music. I don't like her music. I don't like what she stands for. But hey, more power to you that she said "fuck off."
I mean, she can sing.
I can get behind that.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of the whole everything she does. But it's not because it's just mostly because I don't know it.
Yeah, like that girl, dude. Her brother writes her music and she sings it. Her brother's her composer.
I think her music,
and she should be able to
dark,
sing.
and
she can sing whatever she wants to sing. Yeah, it could be dark. I have noticed that.
But yeah, go the F off is a great thing to say, especially right now, dude, with the COVID going on, all this bullshit we've been through. Go the F off is the best thing to do. This should be empowering everybody right now to realize what is and what we really are and what we're capable of and what's being taken away.
And the cancel culture are the same people that come out to Kim Kardashian and they shame her because she is in a bathing suit or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I don't understand her either. I mean, she has fat injected into her ass to make her ass bigger. I'm sorry. I do not know any single woman out there that wants a bigger ass. You ask anybody, what are you happy with the size of your ass, or would you like it bigger or smaller? Well, 10 out of 10 are going to say they want a smaller ass.
I got to disagree with you there. There are some women who would like a
smaller, because she kind of looks like Yoshi. You know, Yoshi.
Yeah, bigger, maybe a fuller.
Yoshi.
Well, yeah, if you don't have an ass, of course you're going to want a bigger one. But 9 out of 10 women are going to be happy with their ass, so they'd want a smaller one.
She didn't have one though. Yeah.
Marissa Leal joins us now. You missed us. You missed it out a little bit. We were talking about you just a touch.
Now Kim Kardashian's ass, she can serve dinner for 12 on that thing. It's so damn big.
Yeah, why you want to add to something that's already big?
I mean, it got bigger, period.
I mean, I get that African American gentlemen do like a lot of junk in the trunk. I know this from personal experience.
We actually do.
We do, he says. Marissa, where you been? We were just talking about you.
How you doing, Marissa?
If that's the real Marissa. Is that the real Marissa?
Right, that's a hard thing to say, man.
Or is that an imposter now?
There's plenty. Who knows?
Ooh, that's intriguing. Anyway, yes, we just discussed your or the lawsuit. I did reach out earlier, but I know you probably can't discuss it. I'm sure that's what they're telling everybody. And we're just wondering what the heck is going on. Anyway, I was saying about Taylor Dane. Yeah, so everybody got on her case for performing New Year's Eve at Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago, right? Yeah.
Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago.
How me
Where's that at?
Like to say
that's
Mar-a-Lago.
Right. Oh, that's Trump's palace over there in Florida.
Okay.
Prince Trump.
And Don Jr. was there. The other daughter, what's her daughter's name?
I saw the live, dude. Junior posted it on there. That looked rocking, bro. Nobody had face masks. It was like just a normal day, and you can imagine the restrictions and all the COVID tests they had to go through.
Bianca.
Brittany. Who was
I
it?
think
Yeah,
that's what you're
Brittany.
thinking of, Bianca.
Brittany.
No.
Taylor Dane's been getting intense backlash for performing at a Mar-a-Lago resort at New Year's Eve last week. Though President Trump was not present for the event, his children Tiffany, Eric, Don Jr. were all in attendance, including former Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Basically, they're criticizing because nobody was wearing masks. They're not saying if they were social distancing or not.
It was like a mosh pit, bro. Basically.
You cannot have a mosh pit to Taylor Dane. The music just doesn't fit.
Like there were the people who were opening up for them, and it was, I don't know who it was. It was some pretty badass music, and but I know that Junior went live with it, and I mean there was no social. That's why I figured everybody in there got tested. Everybody in there, because there was no masks. It was like a normal day in the neighborhood. That was awesome, man.
But then again, just
Vanilla
to
Ice.
stand on the
That's
side
what I
of
saw.
Trump,
It was Vanilla Ice. That's what it was. I couldn't
Florida
believe it.
is 100% open. There's nothing shut down in the state of Florida. You don't have to wear masks unless if you want to.
And from what I understand, their numbers are not skyrocketing.
And they're not.
So then?
Oh, because they don't skyrocket in Florida. That's a vacation spot. They just go and contract it there, and then they come back to Texas and then.
Is that what it is? They come from all over the country to go to Florida. They get infected. Then they go back home and spread it everywhere else.
Yeah, the numbers go everywhere else.
So they're only scrutinizing the party because, it was the Trumps. Okay, well, You have to realize what state you're in and what the laws are in that state or the policies.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, you big, anybody that's not Fox News or CNN, ABC, whoever the hell you are, make up the lies that you want to make up because that's all you do anyway.
Now, this other story came out about Kamala Harris. She was talking about demanding civil rights when she was a little baby, a little toddler. You guys remember hearing this? That she said she started demanding civil rights when she was still in a stroller.
Yeah, like she can talk and know what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah, well, it turns out, guess where she may have lifted that from? There was a interview with Martin Luther King Jr. in 1965. Where he told that story about himself. And guess what?
I have a feeling Kamala Harris was not born in 1965.
No. I don't even know when she was born. She's like 50.
Well, no, it's entirely possible because she'd be older. No, she'd be around my age.
Kamala Harris is 56 years old. She was born in 64. All right.
No, she was. Okay, yeah, that'd be right. 60.
Yeah.
No, yeah, 64 to be 56. Yeah.
What's your opinion about Kirk Cameron? Oh my goodness, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. What is your opinion about Kirk Cameron's large anti-mask gatherings? Now, is he calling them a religious event? Is that what he's doing? Now, I know, social gatherings are one thing I'm real big on. Why is it you can have your Walmarts open, your HEBs open, but you're not supposed to go to church and gather there. It's okay to go to the airport. It's okay to be packed in a 50-seat airplane with 50 people on it and inches between everybody.
But you have to be 12 feet apart all the way through the security line.
And nobody is 12 feet apart. Everybody's in a regular single file, like kindergarten. There's no social distancing at the airport. I mean, people try. When you go to McDonald's or to get a snack at the airport, everybody tries this social distance. But you go to Starbucks, I mean, I'll show you a line. I'll take a picture next time I'm over there. There's no social distancing at all.
So my opinion about the whole you can't go to church, but you can go shopping at Walmart and every other place like that is because you get support at church. And that's kind of like your community. So they support you and they lift you up and they give you ideas. This is against the Constitution. This is against the First Amendment. But no, it's not, because we say that you cannot congregate.
Yeah.
But yet it's 100% against the Constitution. Well, you don't look at the Constitution because it's wrong right now. Listen to us. So, I mean, they're trying to suppress you and get you ready for socialism. Like the whole mask thing. I mean, wear it if you want to wear it. I don't wear them unless if I'm like getting a shot or something and I'm like within a few inches of the person who gave me the shot. I'll do it out of respect for that person. But if I go shopping, I don't wear the goddamn mask. I can't breathe out of the motherfucker. I'm not going to wear it. Not to mention I fight with it between my hair and everything else. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I wear it. I wear it mostly for the benefit of other people. I don't know, for some reason. Not that I'm not afraid of COVID, but I'm not afraid of COVID. Kind of.
Tell me about the Greyhound experience again, though.
Oh man, that was horrible. That's. I'll come back to that in a minute. I'm going to hit a couple more other things over here. So Pelosi and the House of Representatives rules. They decided that you cannot say words like she, her, him, his,
father,
mother. You have to say things like
wait, but that's in court, or no?
That's in out. That's in the House.
Yeah, from the way I understand it, that's in the House in everyday language speaking,
Everyday
and even bill writing.
In the House, like my house, or you mean the House like their house?
No, in court, in the Capitol, their House of Reps. They don't want, anytime they're talking about bills and passing whatever, they're just not going to use that kind of language. They call it that kind of language. So saying she is bad language. So
it's cancel culture.
So you have to say things like, you can't say mom or dad. You have to say a parent. You can't say daughter or son. You have to say my child or my sibling.
That's already pretty standard in courts, though.
Nah, I didn't think so.
Like
I
it's
don't
called
think
like,
so either. I mean,
like
when the hell do you have to be politically correct to talk about your damn family?
No, I mean, were you talking about talking? We're not talking about the people. I mean us, right?
We're talking about
the House. Like that's the language they have to use there.
That's the language they want everyone to use there. Anybody who's going to be in that building, anybody's going to walk into that building, you cannot. What'll happen if you do? I don't know. But they don't want you using gender specific.
Well, the way they love finding everybody, they'll find that $1,000 right out your ass.
Now, give me those $600 back.
Right. So the proposed changes, which also include the establishment of a House Office of Diversity and Inclusion, God, will be voted on after the House convenes for the 117th. Now we're okay. So now they convened the 117th Congress with a prayer. Have you seen this thing?
I've seen it.
I haven't.
So the guy, his name is Emmanuel Cleaver. He's a Democrat out of Missouri. I think
they're all Democrats or what?
I think it's out of Missouri. Yeah, it's Missouri. Oh yeah, yeah. It's liberals or progressives at the very least. And he says at the end of his prayer, "Amen." We all know what amen.
Did you say anal on fucking national TV, bro?
Amen.
Okay, all right.
And he says, "Amen," and a woman.
That's stupid, bro. That's a whole different pronoun or whatever it is, right?
And the whole purpose of saying amen is kind of like what Ramsey used to say, let it be done.
If we can define amen, right, like the actual definition.
The actual definition, it's a Latin term, which means let it be or so be it, actually. It means so be it.
Just like Bam said, so be it. Amen.
Yeah, that's what amen actually means.
Just because man isn't in there, bro. Like they're gonna stop saying menstrual cycle now. Like the parent was on her menstrual cycle when she decided to stab her husband.
She's on her monthly.
No, she's on her herstral cycle or whatever.
Yeah, so be it. So the guy's an idiot because he doesn't know. He thinks amen refers to a man, refers to masculine something. It's got nothing to do with gender at all. It's
So
just
can we go
amen.
back? Can we go back to my friend Nancy for a minute?
Yeah, let's go.
Let it rip.
So we all know, and we've seen the story that her house has been vandalized.
One of her houses.
Yeah, one of
Well,
her.
the one in
Like a-
San Francisco.
Or freaking
Chris,
vacation
we'll
home or
we'll
whatever.
get back to this, Chris, in a second here. Yeah.
So I happened to post a little article and I forwarded it because I didn't do any research. And I'm like, oh, yes. So I wrote, true or not, it couldn't happen to a nicer person. And I posted it on my Facebook page. And if that doesn't tell you that I love the woman to death, y'all know how much I love her.
Oh, you know he'd love
Very
Nancy.
much.
We know.
Roses and everything.
So a friend of mine happened to post, she goes, and he says, I don't like her either, but why would you say something like that? And I'm like, I really don't wish ill on anybody, but on her, I really got to think twice. And, I'm sorry. I kind of think she deserves it for all the shit she's done in the 50 years that she's been in Congress. I think she kind of deserves it. It's kind of karma.
Yeah,
Karma
well,
coming back to slap her in the ass. And if she doesn't want vandalism done to her house, and same thing with Mitch McConnell, because this happened the next day, if they don't want their houses vandalized, first of all, we're going to find out where you live. It's public knowledge. But if you don't want this happening, you need to move your ass to a gated community. Spend a couple $100,000 more. Go to a gated community. Then
Hey,
it's not going to happen to you.
Get the fuck out of public. Of the
her
public.
primary residence, she does have a big giant gate. Big giant gate. So the other part of this is this doesn't help. This doesn't help. And I'll refer to Maxine Waters. Remember the lovely Maxine Waters from California?
Oh, yeah. That's my second best friend. Peach
Maxine
45. Peach
Yeah.
45.
Well, whatever, in Peach 45. But she's telling everybody to get in the opposition's, get in their faces. When you see them outside at a restaurant, get in their faces. And all this crap. Well, now stuff is starting to happen to them. And guess what? They don't like it.
I mean, it's just funny that they make it public now. How come they didn't talk shit when they vandalized one of the Trump towers? They did all. I gotta say, dude, I stand behind Trump before he was a president. I loved him as an entrepreneur. People judge me for that, but now I'm the unbiased viewer. When I see when they vandalized the Trump towers, they didn't make a big deal out of it the way they're doing it now. Oh, they went and vandalized one of Nancy's houses.
Yeah.
They vandalized the Trump towers, and that shit didn't even make the big media, bro. But
yeah, so Chris was asking, hey, I want to know what's going on. I went to Walmart and all the big screens are gone. Is there a national shortage? Wait, stimulus?
yeah,
That's
hold your
what
600, bro. Hold your 600.
That's what happened. Everybody got their 600 and everybody bought a TV.
Yep.
So now there's kind of a TV shortage. So no, there's not. There really isn't.
That's cool, bro. Like we can go and buy them half price at the pawn shop in a few months. Don't worry.
Right? Come income tax time, and then they're going to go buy another TV. So they'll sell this one to the pawn shop, and they'll go buy another TV.
Yeah, when they realize they need $20 for diapers.
So a women, when he said amen, then he said a women is Latin for you do it or you're cut off. That's exactly right.
Oh damn, Eddie has some fucking wisdom to share.
Right? And he's got jokes now.
That's
There's
wisdom.
nothing wrong
bro.
with jokes. I like jokes.
That's wisdom. That's not a joke. That's wisdom. This guy's been around. 8 women. Look at that. That's gonna be on the Webster dictionary next year for sure.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Trump is headed to Georgia. Talk to you about the Senate races over there. They need all their help that we can get.
Yeah, their election is tomorrow. And how many of us actually feel that this is going to be a 100% unfraud election, like it's 100% honest election? I think it's going to be stolen again.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
I've heard some of my diehard Democrat buddies. I never actually rooted for Republican or Democrat previously. But now that all this was happening with this, the whole way that it went down, it was just so unfair. But I've had some Democrat buddies, diehard Democratic buddies, say, "I don't care if they cheated. I just want them out of office." Like, what the hell? Who are the people, man? These are the people that we're electing to represent us. People forget why the whole United States was even born, and history is written that way. What they teach us in school is taught that way, so we can eventually forget how it all started. They'll talk to you about George Washington. They'll talk to you about Abraham Lincoln, but they won't talk to you about...
They don't do that anymore.
Really?
They don't do that. They don't do that in school anymore.
Well, it should, bro. That's what I mean. This is all about power now.
History.
It's all about power now, man.
And, they don't teach the Civil War. They don't teach George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. They don't teach any of that anymore.
Because history is meant to repeat itself, and if we don't know it, it's going to repeat itself.
Oh, and it will. Just like fashion, it all comes back around. Just like which is the gun amendment, the Second Amendment. God, I can't even remember. I'm so crazy right now. The right to bear arms. Yep. Okay, well, the right to bear arms, we have that right, but we can also take arms up against our government. The 10th Amendment says if our government gets too big, we as people have to take our government back from them.
Hey, but I read something today that said that they basically warned the military and the people that if we were to go against what's going to happen with the election, there's going to be, repercussion and laws and legality and jail sentences being thrown out.
Oh, yeah.
If the military decided to, 10, 20 people said, you know what, nah, dude, I don't believe this shit. We're going against it. Yeah. That there's going to be repercussion for everything.
Yeah, I don't want to believe it, but God, I don't know. Nobody can predict the future, but do I see another civil war coming? It's entirely possible.
Right. I hope not, but
no, I hope not either. I mean, I don't know if it'll ever happen in our time, but if the Democrats keep doing what the hell they're doing,
it's a control that they're taking that
they want the power. They are power hungry.
The control and that power, bro, that they're taking away the knowledge. Like you said, right now they aren't even talking about civil wars anymore in school. I didn't know that.
Juan says he's a historian teacher, and
he says I beg to differ. I'm a U.S. history teacher. I'm required to teach about the Constitution and Bill of Rights.
That's great.
Some schools do. Schools around here, they don't.
I was saying Texas, they're pretty good. You go to the rest of the country, that's not what they're teaching.
Like in colleges, they're teaching socialism, but they're just telling everybody the good stuff about it.
Hey, what's the over-under on Caitlyn Jenner Day as a national holiday?
Really? Wait, is that a real thing?
I say it'll happen by June or July. That'll happen.
Dude, if it does happen, man, hats off to you.
I wouldn't necessarily object to it. Could be worse.
No, there's nothing to object to that.
Carlos, how you doing, buddy? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Mr. Guerrero.
Welcome. Okay, so I had this thing up here. Let's talk about Tanya Roberts. You guys know who Tanya Roberts is?
About to find out.
She was Sheena. There was a movie called Sheena. I don't know if it's going to let me click into it or not. So all day we've been hearing reports that she passed away. She was dead. And turns out she's not dead. Turns out
just partying.
Her publicist says she's very alive.
Damn it, Sheena.
We just spoke with Lance, Tanya's long-term partner. He tells us he went to the hospital Sunday after getting a call from doctors saying Tanya was fading fast and it was going to end in her death. He went to the hospital, and as he sat in her room, she opened her eyes and tried to grab onto him, but her eyes were closed and she faded. He said he was devastated, walked out of his room, and then the hospital never spoke with medical staff. So apparently all this was... And then they said she was dead. And she was actually sleeping or something like that. So
that's cool. They say that about me sometimes. I'm sleeping.
I know this happened before. Who are they? Some of the actors they're always trying to kill. Like, oh, he's dead. Then everybody starts posting on Facebook. Oh, so and so died. Rest in peace.
Bunch of them.
I think Michael Keaton was one of them. I'm trying to remember who else.
They've done that to The Rock several times.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. So this is another part of cancel culture. Like, why want people dead? Just leave them alone. Yeah, Nadia, she's alive. She's alive and well. Why are you gonna be hateful and want people dead? Wasn't Eminem dead once?
Yeah, he was too. I think Machine Gun Kelly killed him.
Really, I like his music.
Who's the big problem with media? False report. Not just false reporting. They just don't. There's no journalism anymore. Nobody takes the
They don't-
time to make the calls and confirm stuff. They just want to be the first to put it out there,
No matter what it is.
Or the first to cover it up.
or the first to cover it up. Exactly.
I don't even believe the freaking weather guy no more, bro. The guy says it's gonna rain every freaking night and it doesn't rain.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a hurricane coming and get your shit together. Go get sandbags and board up your house and fucking rainbows and nothing unicorns.
Aren't you guys kind of like smack dab in the center of the state, so you don't have like
Yeah,
high
but-
winds and shit?
But these guys
No.
get paid off advertisement, man. You know, that's,
Brownsville South, right on the border, southern tip.
Yeah, but it's still kind of like in the
we're in the Gulf. The Gulf
center
is
of the
right there.
state.
Oh, well, yeah. You mean in the center of the Gulf Coast, the western Gulf Coast? Yeah.
If the weatherman lies, imagine everybody else, bro.
The only thing they get right is fog.
Okay,
That's the only thing they get right.
the weatherman has the best job in the world. You can be 100% wrong 100% of the time and still collect a fucking paycheck because you can go, oh, well, I guess the storm decided to track the other direction. Whoops.
Whoops.
Yep. We'll continue tracking. Watch us at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Wake up. Watch us at 3 a.m. so we can continue tracking the severe storm with tornadoes.
Yeah, I believe those storm chasers, though, whenever they're out there in their little SUVs and vans and stuff.
Yeah,
Have you seen all the gadgets they got in there inside those vehicles?
it's crazy, man.
You
That's
should
different,
see-
though. That's different.
Nah,
You should have seen the
that's why.
tornadoes that went through Sioux Falls a couple years ago. Horrendous.
Other guy-
Hang on. When I Google celebrity info, I type trending news.
Yeah, trending news. Also,
Uh,
Ms. Villarreal, look up, number one Google thing today and see what pops up.
Google what?
Number one Googled today. Like the number one Googled word. There's a lot of things that you will not see on the news, but there's somebody out there who's Googling the shit out of it. There's 1,000 people Googling the same thing, but it's not on the news.
Yeah, Juan Carlos. That's always been the case. I don't know. It seemed like it's always been the case. Every time there was one, there was another one, and then there was another one.
Hey,
Yeah,
no,
always
Mr.
in threes.
That's a good one right there, dude. The one that Juan Carlos is saying.
Yeah.
Oh, not even celebrities. This is like an old Mexican proverb that death comes in threes.
Well, maybe that's where that came from. But I know, yeah, celebrities there was always one say, all right, who's next? And then tomorrow or the next day, you'd hear about somebody else. And the week would end with yet a third one. So that has happened quite a bit.
I put that one to test once. I had 2 people die, and it was 2018.
Probably
And-
coincidental.
It's so coincidental that I said 2 people died. They say death comes in 3. If somebody dies tomorrow, this is more than a coincidence. Boom! Another one of my friends says. Anyways, it was just a Deadpool theory, I guess.
Deadpool. Yeah, that happens. We actually, at the beginning of the year, we used to have a prediction on, all right, who's gonna die this year, celebrity wise.
Hey, but Juan Carlos has a cool what is this? The profile picture for a history teacher. My old history teacher, bro.
The Hulk,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, good shot right there. Anything else, guys, you want to pick up on before we call it a night for the night? Guess not. Not everybody
guess
jumped
not.
at once. You still with us, Bam?
He is.
Oh, sorry. I mute my mic when I snack on something, so I'm not like making crunchy noises in people's
Crunchy
ears,
noises.
unlike Massimo.
Anything else? Anything you want covered? Any last words or anything before we call it a night?
Well, just want to wish everybody a happy New Year, happy days. Happy
Yeah.
April Fool's Day. Nancy won the House Speaker again. Don't that just want to slap your ass?
Oh, that's a joke. That's
Just what we need. Another 4 years of that old hoe.
I know, and everybody's dying, but she's right. Betty White still.
Damn, Betty White. She died a few times too on Facebook, dude.
Yeah, I think she was called dead a couple times.
Wow.
Well,
Now
I mean,
know.
she's in her 90s? Isn't she in her
Survivor
90s?
theory.
You know, I love Betty White because you know you're 90 something years old and you can still tell your daughter to fuck you.
Shit.
Hey, she's 98 years old, bro.
Whoa.
God love
man.
her.
She's
is
gonna
one
be
hilarious
99.
woman.
She's gonna be 99 on the 17th.
She is one hilarious woman.
You guys ever watch The Golden Girls?
Oh yeah, Blanche.
Now, I did when they first came out. This is in the 80s, right? 80s, 80s,
It
late
came
80s.
out in the late 60s, early 70s.
The Golden Girls?
Yeah.
No.
Oh wait, that was Maude.
Yes, you're talking about Maude.
Okay, so Golden Girls was probably early 80s.
And Maude was funny too, but not the Golden Girls were that was you know, for a young kid, it was probably not the greatest show on earth. But if
I
you're
don't know.
mature,
I always liked. I strive to be like Blanche, the old hoe. God, she'd open those legs for anybody.
oh, she's the one
God
with the
love
short
her.
haircut. Yeah, the one that's always the horny broad.
I gotta
Yeah.
go back and watch these shows, guys.
She was the hoe. She
Yeah,
had
if you
more
were
sex than a prostitute.
yeah, she was always going out with guys left and right. She was like Charlie from 3.5 Men.
Sounds
Oh,
great.
sweet Jesus!
She was a horny grandma. Betty White will live forever. Yeah, she will. God bless her. I hope she makes it through the whole year.
ASMR.
Yeah,
ASMR.
like that. Like
That's what ASMR is there.
So,
Oh my God, there you go. Mighty still getting up.
does anybody remember the old Home Alone movies?
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Homo? No?
Home
Kevin.
Alone
Yeah.
with Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, when they did the New York one, that lady that was covered with bird poop.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so they just did a story on her. She was, she's in her 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and they just did a story on her. She lives in Ireland, and she had absolutely nobody to spend Christmas with. She has no family members or anything, and she was just stuck up in her little Irish house over there in Ireland someplace, and she closed the blinds like nobody was home. And you know, that's sad that, you know, you don't have anybody to spend a holiday with, or, you know, she's got to have neighbors. You know, why don't you invite her over for a turkey sandwich or something?
Yeah.
But that also reminds me, Michael Ellig, y'all remember him?
Negative. What is he, Batman or something?
Michael what?
Ellig, I know I'm pronouncing his last name wrong. He was the party monster from New York. Went to prison for murdering one of his friends, Angel. Anyways, Macaulay Culkin played him in the movie Party Monster.
Allig, ALIG. That's right.
Yeah,
Michael
that
Allig.
one. Yeah. Well, he just died on Christmas Day of an overdose.
He was an American club promoter and convicted felon. He was one of the ringleaders of the Club Kids in New York, a group of young New York kids, city club goers who became a cultural phenomenon in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, he was into drugs really bad.
Convicted of
some money
first degree
making,
manslaughter, 10 to 20 years in prison.
He made some money writing a couple of books, though.
Yeah, so
Crunch.
he's gone. Yeah, it was a famous line from Lake Placid, the movie with Betty White. Suck my, yeah. That's in Lake Placid? Is that the movie that was? Man, I remember hearing that. I just didn't know. I couldn't remember.
Betty White actually said, "Suck my dick."
She said it.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yo,
Lake Placid was a cool movie though.
I've never seen it.
It's that big ass alligator.
That's
bro.
the alligator movie, right? That giant alligator?
Yep.
Yeah, that's going way back, too. All right, we're going to call it a night, guys. Any parting words?
Happy New Year. See
Happy
you in
New
a
Year,
couple
everybody.
at the next show. Y'all have a great night. Don't spend your stimulus all in one spot if you got it. I haven't got mine yet.
Later this week, we'll do a predictions coming up for 2020. And we touched on it.
2021.
New Year's Eve, 2021. Holy crap. I know we touched on it last week, but come up with something.
I have like 4 final words, but I don't know if you have time for them.
Go ahead.
But, so I usually don't share this. You know, everybody always asks about the whiteboard. This is what I do all day, bro. Is, as soon as it pops into my brain, I drop it on here. I said it before. I came up with 4 words that, when I connected them, it all made sense. Allow, decide, commit, and take action. Allow is a word that limits you to a start or a stop. So that's when you either start or you stop. So this can be your starting point, or this can be where you call it quit. You know, if you allow yourself to live what you want to live, whatever it is, you know, at that point, and then you make your decision. You decide that, okay, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. And then you commit to it, and you say, no matter, commitment means no matter what happens, whether I fail or I succeed, I'm going to continue. You commit to it, and then you take action. And in 2021, these are the 4 words: allow, decide, commit, and take action. And if you do it in that process, shit's gonna happen regardless. That's a real formula that Albert Einstein couldn't bring to you guys this evening.
You know, I have a friend that does a lot of public speaking, and she kind of like builds you up. And her name is Kimberly Ventus Starks, Dr. Kim. I met her in Cincinnati Airport one day. Woman comes in, hair like this. I mean, her hair is as wide as her bottom. And over the time, she actually invited me to one of her seminars. And she always closes a seminar with, if you do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always got. If you want something you never had, then you need to do something you've never done. And that sticks with me every day.
Yeah, that's 2021 in a nutshell. From that doctor, from me, from you, from Manny. These are words that if you want to change things, this is the timeline. I went off the same thing that you just mentioned, Bam. And these are the 4 words that came up to me before the New Year's even occurred. And once I put them together, it made sense. The definition of everything is allow. What do you allow to happen? This is your starting or stopping point. So if this is your starting point, you decide to go to the next level, then you decide that this is what I want to do. And you commit to it, and you say, no matter what, this is what I'm going to do. I don't care what anybody else has to say. And then taking action is the next step. And I just want to share that with everybody, bro. 2021, this is what I'm going to be doing. And I hope that everybody out, this is just like things that you will never imagine. I'm throwing them out there right now. You know, for anybody who actually needed that, it's some crucial 4 words that might be needed in the future. And if they ever want to hear them again, they can reach out to Manny, and we'll send them a screenshot.
So how long did it take you to work on that?
Dude, this was when I first got this whiteboard, was maybe the last week of December. And I wrote 1 word at a time as they came to me. These were strong words that when I was, you know, in doubt, I said, like, bro, just allow it to happen. And I said, all right. And then the next day I was like, you know what? This is my decision. This is what I'm going to do. So I decide this is going to happen, and then commit action. And so then I said, well, what do these words really mean? Then I broke them down. Allow means limit, a stop or a start. Decision. Decide means decide, your choice. You know, commit means a commitment. That's the word that you have. This is what you live for, your commitment.
Will you marry me?
Action means doing. I'm sorry, dude. I would.
You know, that kind of reminds me of.
I don't know.
Listen.
C. A always B B C closing. Always be closing. Always be closing.
Remember that?
I remember that. Yeah. Second place.
Bam, kind of like I told my 18-year-old daughter, you get back what you put into it.
Definitely true.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Exactly right, Nadia. Good choice of words. On that note, have a good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hope you had a good weekend, and we will talk to you again soon in the next day or so. I'll be in touch with y'all.
Later.